on this note, Jason, what does success look like to you now that you've accomplished and opened multiple successful businesses? What does success look like to you?
I've been thinking a lot just about the way I'm raising my kids, right? Because they're watching, right? They're slow, they're watching. So success on a level,
Yeah.
right, is more preparing my kids to be able to make good decisions in the future. Because many times, when you're out there, you realize how you've made poor decisions because of just how you grew up, right? How you were conditioned as a child, right?
Yeah.
Just your upbringing. And so I'm not saying that I'm going to tell my kids how to make good decisions, but I'm going to prepare them so they're going to be ready to hopefully be prepared to make a good decision when it comes, right? And that's the biggest part of success, is just seeing kids who can grow up in a good way, in a good fashion, in a good light, with good values, with good morals. That will really prove that what I've done was successful.
You've mentioned your kids quite a lot. I can see that they are very important for you, as they should. Um, how, in the eyes of your own kids, how would you like to be remembered?
Hmm. um, Confident, supportive, caring, kind. I think if those would be words that would carry weight. That I was strict on them with things that I believe they need to um, very much have in place in their life. But I was also caring and understanding that mistakes happen,
Hmm.
and it's the lessons that they'll learn from them that really is the important thing for them to carry forward.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that, Jason. I appreciate it. That these are quite personal
Sure.
questions. How are you feeling about these questions?
Oh, good. It's
All right.
what it is that it, part of our message is that, especially with my message with Live 100, is that I want people to understand that, there is a more fulfilling life if you choose it, right? If you have a great life,
Hmm.
fantastic, right? Good. But at a certain level, many times in life, it might be family, it might be fitness, finances, your faith. There's something that is missing the mark, right? And it, but you don't want to truly acknowledge it until you do, until you say,
Hmm.
you know what, life's okay, but why live okay, right? Why live okay when you could live great? And talking about these things, right?
Yeah.
There's been points where I've had lessons in all of these factions, right? All these factors, all these parts, right? I constantly am learning in all these parts, right? Like I'm not perfect by any means. I have just lessons that I'm constantly learning, right? And reinforcing and trying to grow within myself. And I'm sharing with, others the lessons that I've learned, with the hope that it can fast track somebody else, right? It's not going to make them there, but it can help them. Instead of going, through 50 steps to get to goal, maybe they can go through six, and that six can be the six steps they need, instead of trying to try out 44 others that really aren't beneficial for them.
Hmm. And that puts quite a bit of responsibility and weight on your shoulders as well. So, being a business owner, a father, a husband, what drives you? What motivates you to push harder day in, day out?
I've always been, I've been disciplined to myself for a number of years, just looking for, I spent a lot of years just not being great, right? I just doing odd jobs, just not happy, not fulfilled, not in great relationships. And when you break that, right, and you start to get results that you're proud of and you're happy with, right? It disciplines you to be energized to continue to do that, right? Because you know that you've got something good, right? And that
Mm.
is what gets me up. That's what energizes me, is that I've seen how I could not be fulfilled, right? I've seen that. I've done that. I spent years messing around with that,
Yeah.
and I don't want that anymore, right? And so for that, having a direction, having a plan, having a focus, having a happy life, like that is within my realm. That's what I have today. So I want to continue to build on that, because I've seen what's come
Yeah.
from just doing positive steps that have built momentum.